So you family? Wow, you got one child. What do you have?
Just one.
Family man.
One daughter. She's 4. What about you?
I got a 12, a 8, and a 6-month-old, my brother.
Nice.
I'm
Feel you.
dying, man.
You start getting bored with the older kids, huh?
You know what, man? I just understand what the good book meant when they said be fruitful. I'm literally just coming into that.
Gotcha.
It took me 40 years to figure it out.
So you got 6 months. She's sleeping through the night yet?
That's my first, but I got 2 girls. He's not. He hates to sleep. I think he's gonna be like a super entrepreneur. Randy.
You in the zombie stages, then.
Oh, I'm dying. You don't know it yet. I'm dying right now. I'm dying. Roundup, thank you for joining us. Come on in. Come on in. We got an entrepreneur with us today. Not really going, he's into real estate, but we're not going to get too deep into real estate. We can talk about that too, but really my mentor told me, Roundup, don't commit business incest by only studying people in your industry. So the best ideas, he says, come from other industries we can adapt and bring them into ours. I remember he told me a story about the drive-through for the food came from the banking industry. So that's how we got our drive-through and just different things that we can all learn from. Entrepreneur is an entrepreneur. Would you say, Randy?
I agree with that 100%. I try to do that myself.
So you started, and you are in, where you at? Where you based?
Portsmouth, Virginia.
Portsmouth, Virginia. So because this is broadcast is around the country. Give us a kind of what is that close to?
This is near Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
In Virginia Beach area. About, I guess, 4 hours south of DC.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Roundup, thank you for joining us. So today, I am Kris Haskins. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Doing that, I want to bring you on the guests that are doing things, running businesses, and getting sales. And I want to introduce you to my friend Randy today. How you doing, my boy Randy Williams?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to see another person that's out here working much harder than me. So good to connect.
So yeah, Roundup, you stay on here. We're going to give you some goodies. Randy has a code to give you for his watch. And I just wanted the purpose of today's broadcast Roundup was to share with you other entrepreneurs that are doing things. This dude, I've been following him. He doesn't know it, but I've been following him for a long time. I finally was able to reach out to him through social media. So the power of social media got us here together. Randy, give me the backstory, my friend. You ain't always been an entrepreneur. Well, let me ask you, have you kind of like in the mindset been an entrepreneur since the start, or were you day job 9-to-5 guy?
No, I was never a 9-to-5 guy, man. Gotcha. Ever. So I started out very young and trying business ideas, but back then I just knew that I wanted to be a businessman. And I knew that in order to get some money, to get some gear, I had to sell something to get cash. You know, I wasn't old enough to go and apply for a job. So, I started out trying to sell stuff around the neighborhood and been plotting my escape even the whole time I was in college. I just didn't pull that trigger until I graduated. Saw what that real world was like.
So after you graduated from college, did you go work? Did you have a job or did you go straight into?
Oh, most definitely. Because I was under the assumption, Kris, that I would be able to work for somebody else, save a lot of money, and then start a business off the money that I saved from working. But I realized that I wasn't going to be able to earn enough money. And as I moved up the corporate ladder, even though I earned more money, I had less time to work on my businesses on the side. And so that route wasn't going to work for me. I figured that out pretty quickly, so I started trying stuff. But over the years, I've definitely maintained a 9-to-5, up until 2015.
So just so my rounduppers will know exactly what you're doing now, give us a 40,000-foot view of your business now, and then we'll work backwards to how you got into that.
Yeah, I'm the founder of Twine Watch Company. We sell watches and accessories for men and women. Started right here in Portsmouth, and we're working on, this is our 6th year in business coming up in November.
Wow, that is so cool, man. So I'm gonna show a screenshot of your website, y'all. You got timepieces. Now, why do you call them timepieces, Randy, instead of watches?
Yeah, they're really interchangeable, but I think timepiece better describes what we offer, is because of the quality level and the reason that you would buy Italian twine. You know, you got an Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is a watch. You know, you're using that for function. I think our watches are more so of a conversation piece, more of a style choice than anything.
I'm telling you, I
We
got
got
my
our
dad.
phones to tell time, right?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I got my Roundup. I'm telling you, this is for me. It's like a lifestyle thing. I got my dad one of these things, and the dude calls me. He's like, Chris, everywhere. He's in where's he at? Tuscaloosa, Alabama. What do you know about that?
Nice. I heard of it.
Yeah, you don't want to go there.
I'm
Man.
from Georgia anyway, so.
Okay, you're right west, dude.
Yeah.
So he's like, Chris, everywhere I go, people ask me about this watch. The guy, he got the. So anyway,
I hear that a lot, man. Everybody's saying I was always getting stopped for their watch, man. I think that's one of the cool things about it, and that's one of the things that I try to design into the watch, is to make it somewhat eye-catching so that people would want to talk about it.
So let me ask you: are you? What is your role getting started? Do you design them now? Do you have a designer? How does that work?
I'm Hefe. You know, I do I do a little bit of it all, you know, but now I have a team. But starting off, yeah, I'm still the lead designer today. And I primarily focus on just making sure everything flows smoothly. We now have an operations manager, we got some project managers, and we got a fulfillment staff. And so, you know, I'm really overseeing everything, but my passion is really the marketing and the design aspect.
So I want to be clear with my rounduppers regarding the people that think that they are solopreneurs. When did you understand? And when, for me, it was like a switch. I want to know for you, when did it switch? Like, you know what? I need to get some management skills, as opposed to some doing skills. I need to figure out how to manage how this thing works.
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, man. Like, they ask the biggest mistake you made in your business, or what's one thing you could change, and I would have built my team a lot sooner. That was the catalyst for explosive growth, is getting the right team. Because in your mind as a solopreneur, you think you can do so much, but really you're operating on a tenth of what you can actually do. But you don't know it yet because you haven't even got anybody to help you with anything yet. And oftentimes we're too satisfied with just making a little bit of progress. You know what I mean? But I felt like you're always going to feel like, okay, when I make this first hire or the second hire, I'm not ready for it. You know, but the truth is, unless you have people focusing specifically dialing in on specific areas of the business, you're not going to be able to grow to the point where you, in my opinion, can truly call yourself an entrepreneur. You know, you're more of as the E-Myth refers to it, you're just a highly paid professional, or you're a specialist, you know, but you're not an entrepreneur until you can actually step away from your business and it continues running.
Step away. Wow, that's amazing. The E-Myth. Well, I'm presuming when did you read that book, or when did you? I feel like we all grow into that.
Probably after college, a few years after college, I read that. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad in college my senior year. And so that started me on that journey of reading about entrepreneurship. But even then, like, I realized with a lot of these books, it doesn't connect if you're not in the game. Like, you know, I can show you how to shoot a fadeaway jump shot like Kobe. You know, we can talk about it all day, but until you're in the game and you actually try it, you know, that's when it starts to connect. Like, so if you're running your business, you hear people saying, build a team. You start running your business, you start getting overwhelmed, you're not sleeping, you're stressed out. You're like, maybe I do need to get some help. You know, that's when it really makes sense for people. So that was the way it was with the book, The E-Myth.
E-Myth, that's a good one, Roundup, if you don't have that one. Because when I read it, I'm like, good God, I'm in the damn business. I don't own nothing. I'm just in it. I'm just a worker.
And then it puts you to the end of the road. So as opposed to thinking about, oh, I just want to be in business and make this amount of money. Yeah, you can, but how are you gonna make it? And what is your life gonna look like when you make it? And I started flashing back to all these people I knew, like the old mechanic in my neighborhood, the old doctor in my neighborhood. And I'm like, man, he's 80 years old, he's 70 years old, he's still out there every day under the cars. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I don't want that kind of lifestyle. And that's when I started to look at other types of entrepreneurs who were living the lifestyle that I actually wanted to live. I want to enjoy life and I enjoy business. I'm excited about both, you know. And I also saw these tragic stories of these entrepreneurs who were kind of working themselves to the bone and missing out on the formative years of their family. You know, they weren't able to be at games. I'm a grind. I don't sleep. No, I like sleep. I want to get 8 hours of sleep, dog. You know what I'm saying? I also want to be at my kids' games, you know. So I started thinking about how can I do that? You know, how can I be that type of
That's amazing you say that. I think that's why I like real estate. Let me ask you real estate so much, because it's like you buy it one time and it just over time, it's just amazing what it can do. And I heard you talking about that earlier too. I'm presuming that you have your hands in both. I mean, most entrepreneurs I know already have their hands in real estate and another business.
Yeah, most definitely. We bought our building, we bought this building. It's an office, a warehouse space for ourselves. You know, knowing what I knew about real estate, I just couldn't fathom leasing. You know, knowing that if I purchase this 6-unit apartment complex, I'm planning to raise the rent every year. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't want to give that cash away. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the tax advantages of real estate. And so just being in that real estate world and also just having assets, you know what I'm saying? Like for a long-term retirement plan, that's our plan, you know, could acquire 1 or 2 properties a year, you know, in a buy and hold strategy, you know, and if we can do something with it that makes some more cash flow, that's good, you know what I'm saying? But our overall strategy is buy and hold. And so we want to acquire a couple rental units, just let them pay for themselves, you know, and take it slow, you know, until I can build out a more robust real estate team to help me with it. But yeah, man, real estate is just one of those pinnacles of wealth everybody needs to have, and also not having your eggs in one basket either.
I love you say long. I'm hearing you say long-term holds. I know a lot of people are just so enthralled with the HGTV. I call it, my mentor was like, this HGTV crap. I mean, it's not even. I mean, you know, the way what they're doing is like people just want to get into that. But you're on the long term, and that's why I built my empire. Long-term holds.
And what did I say to you after I read the email? I started going to the end of the road. Like, okay, cool. If I started this business, what would I end up be? Something in my mind always goes to 80 years old for some reason.
The time traveling entrepreneurs can travel in time.
Yeah, maybe so, man. Like I always go to 80, but I started thinking like I compare the two things. I hear from the guys who've been in the game and who turned 60 and 70 in the real estate game. All of them said that they stopped flipping. All of them said that they got into buy and hold, cash flow real estate, rentals.
That's
nobody won't flip till they turn 80 years old, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because you're starting the process. And I liken that to what I do, you know, in terms of product sales. The gold in selling things is recurring revenue. And that's essentially what rental is. So you got Netflix, got 7 million subscribers that they picked up last month.
Wow.
That's all gonna pay $13 a month. I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. So I see a lot of similarities between, you know, traditional business and real estate as well. You know, the goal is to get customers to come back. So the metric that we use in Talley and Twine is we want at least 25% of our customers to be second, third, fourth, fifth customers. We want to retain them. We want to make you a lifetime Talley and Twine owner. So when you buy one for your dad, he talks about, you like, maybe I should check one out for myself. You get one for yourself. Your brother graduates from college, you get him one. That's what we're trying to be, a household name in that regard. So I
Nice.
see a lot of similarities.
Roundup, thanks for joining us with Randy Williams. He's the president, CEO of the Talley and Twine watchmakers. Let me go and give you this code here. Roundup, if you go to the link description below, Randy's giving us $10 off. Just go right below for his watches. Unbelievable watches. I'm gonna get me and my wife are gonna get a pair. But anyway. The discount's right here. Use the code Roundup10 to order your watch from Randy, Black-owned watchmaker. How does it feel? Well, let me ask you: is the difference of being a minority? Are you the only guy? I mean, when I found you, I just typed in Black-owned watch. I just wanted to give out money to somebody that exactly what you're doing.
I appreciate it, man. I'm definitely rare in the industry. I'm probably one of the oldest Black-owned watch companies. I'm probably, in terms of revenue. So, but overall in the industry, I'm a small fry. And, when I go to conferences and things of that nature for the industry, I'm one of few Black people there. So, it is what it is. As a Black entrepreneur, you just have unique challenges, that you face.
Is it hard, or do you think it's harder of a grind being a minority? I remember when I got in the real estate game and when I go to the local RIAs, this is back in 2003, 2004, nobody looked like me. Zero.
Been there.
As the internet has evolved, we have a little more people look like me. But let me ask you, go ahead.
I think, it's just like being Black, period. You know what I'm saying? It has its unique challenges, but it has its advantages. I'm sure when you were one of the few Black people treated you nicer. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably were younger. People take more of a mentorship role towards you. And so, you get some of that too. But I think the real disadvantage for us and for our community is the lack of the network. When you're the only entrepreneur in your network that has achieved any success, it's hard finding other people to connect with. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the people in my industry are able to do a friends and family round of funding, raise $250,000. Wow. If they had a property they wanted to buy, they could ask a couple of relatives, they could get 5 bands from each one of them. They can have 50,000. But for the typical Black person that I know, that avenue isn't open to them. And so we're starting, I think the starting point is a lot further back. That's one of the main differences. And I was talking to a friend of mine last weekend, and I put it in terms like this. We suffer more when we make mistakes. Kind of like when people say, when America catches a cold, Black people catch the flu. Same concept in business. If you have a failed business, it's liable to set you back 5 or 10 years. The founder of GoPro can lose $30 million in investors' money and then come back with a new business that works because he had that opportunity to restart. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't a death blow for him to have a failed business because it happens. And you got the network that can get you back there faster. So oftentimes I see entrepreneurs like they're kind of risking it all. They're risking it. They're betting the farm on their concept or their idea, and it has to work, and if it doesn't, then you're starting off from a much lower point.
Tell me this, Randy, how has COVID changed your business? I remember y'all don't know this. I was scheduled to meet him like was it March or February?
Somewhere around there, I think March, yeah.
I had the team ready to go over there to meet him. Then bam, this COVID thing hit. So we've been trying to get together. I was going to do it in person, but tell me how it's helped, how it's changed, how you've pivoted.
Crazy. Well, that's a good example too of, again, if America catches the cold, Black people catch the flu. So you can see the brunt of the blows that are going to minority entrepreneurs, to Black entrepreneurs. They're taking a bigger hit from something like this. And that's why we can't afford to make the same mistake. So if you're an entrepreneur who is in the retail space, I see a lot of Black entrepreneurs who had recently got into the mall and,
a store.
Yeah. A store, physical retail store. And I was And I'm that guy, like, I'm like, why would you want to open a store? Why do you want to open a boutique? Like, why would you do that? You can be online and you can sell to everybody. And I had been saying that for 5 years. And everybody thought I was crazy for not wanting to be in stores. Like, why aren't you in so-and-so? Well, I can't be in Nordstrom now because guess what? They shut down. You know what I'm saying? So we actually just turned down an order from Nordstrom last month. You know, they wanted to put us on their website, you know, and the numbers just didn't make sense for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you need me because you don't have a product. You don't make anything. So you want to capitalize on people supporting Black businesses and toss me on your website. I got to sell you my watches at a discounted rate. You know what I'm saying?
So much
So
of that's how Amazon is. Amazon the same way. They take 70%.
Amazon, I don't have a good relationship with. That's why we don't sell a lot on there, because the numbers just don't make sense to me. And I don't get the customer. I can't follow up with the
It's
customer. I
their
can't
customer.
offer them something. You know what I'm saying? So you asked a question about how COVID affected my business, and we've been doing great because we're online. And
I love
so
it. I love
when
it.
people started,
Let's stay here for a second. When you say why would you, I remember I asked the same question. Why would you want to open up a store? Why? I can't even give any good reasons to have a mortal store in the days of the internet the way it is now, Randy.
I know why. I figured it out too. It's clout, it's prestige. And for some reason, we feel we need the validation of a big name retailer, or we need the validation of being in a physical location, as opposed to just being profitable, just making money. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, you're not thinking that you're gonna sit in this store in an empty mall for 8-10 hours and probably not make any money when you can be constantly making money on the internet. But when you tell people that I started a website versus I opened up a store, the opening of a store sounds more prestigious to some people. You know, for some people, we weren't real because we weren't in a store. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I'm just gonna keep selling to the people that are comfortable buying online. You know, y'all catch up later. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a long time for some people to get out of that traditional thinking.
Well, I'm presuming the millennials are they got to be your good clients too, right? They're buying online.
Yeah, most definitely. And then we had to adapt too to our older clients, because you know we got a lot of people get gifts for their dad, and they want another one. But a lot of older people aren't comfortable buying online, so you know we had to adapt that, be able to take phone orders. You know, we're gonna be sending out some mailers for the first time during the holiday season this year. So we try to merge the two, but ultimately we're gonna send you back to the website. You know, we're gonna place the order on the website. So
Yeah, the internet. Excuse me, y'all. My baby Preston does not like to sleep. He hates to sleep, man. I've been trying to get him to sleep all day. He just don't want to go to sleep. Round it up. Thank you for joining us. Let me announce you again. Randy Williams with Talley and Twine Watches. So your business, would you say COVID? Because you were already, I'm just thinking for me, I'm already online. I saw it. I saw the wave coming, like
yeah,
2018. So I saw it in 17. I didn't think it was the COVID. Obviously, I didn't know anything about that. But I saw everybody look like this, Randy, everywhere I went. This was the silhouette that I saw. And no
yeah.
doubt you saw the same thing. So I'm presuming has COVID has it are you doing better during COVID? Worse? I mean,
I think we're doing better, man, but we're doing what we projected we were gonna do before COVID hit. You know, so we
nice.
kind of like on our same growth trajectory.
Good for
We
you.
definitely got a boost, you know, during the protests. Uh, George Floyd, you know, Breonna Taylor, when people started searching out Black-owned businesses, so we got a boost during that time. So
Nice.
we've been doing good overall. You know, we're still on the path that we set out to be on at the beginning of the year. You know, so it hasn't really had a negative effect. We have a smaller business, a smaller team,
Mhm.
so we were able to be socially distant and still get work
Okay.
done too. So
How many people are in your team, Randy? So we understand this is vision of it.
the overall team is 8 of us. So got fulfillment. 2 people do fulfillment. We got 2 people doing marketing. We got a social media manager. We got my chief operations officer, and I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, we got a graphic designer, and then we got a photo and video guy.
Nice.
So small team, we try to be efficient, and we work, man, work well together. I was blessed to get some really good people. I haven't had a lot of turnover on the people that we connected with, man. So
Good. And when did you know, Randy, it was time? Like, I know a lot of people want to get into real estate. Yes, you can get into real estate 30 days, make a bunch of money. You can do it. For you, when did you know, you know what, it's time for me to I got to be full-time entrepreneur? I'm presuming you were let me ask you, were you working and doing watches?
yeah. I
When
was
did you
taking orders on the website, but I had a few orders. So it's like 2 or 3 orders. I would package them up before work, go to work. And then on my break, I just drop them off at the post office. So,
Okay.
I did that for a while. And the business started to grow. And then I got fired. So it was a little bit, they made a decision for me. But my decision point was deciding not to go and look for another job. I felt like, man, I can really give myself a shot right now. I can go full time and see what I'm made of as an entrepreneur. I can see if I really got something in this business. Like, I really don't know. I started to think about it, like, man, I really don't know how big I can be because I have never tried it. And so in February of 2016, they handed me my walking papers while I was on my lunch break. Came in there and told me, like, hey, look, they had the nerve to tell me, man, we looked at your resume, so we're sure you'll be okay.
What in the heck? That is so grimy.
And so I finished my lunch. They were like, yeah, you can finish out the rest of the day, if you like, man. And, we wish you the best. I'm like, finish the rest of the day? I packed up my one box because, see, I'm a no decoration office kind of guy. So there was nothing on my walls. Everything I had fit into one little box. I got in my car and went home. And so I've been on full time ever since then.
At least I didn't tell you in 5, dog. At least they gave you half a day.
Yeah.
Was that your first time being let go? I mean, I've been fired so many times.
That was my second time being fired, man. The other time I was actually doing real estate, and that's what got me fired from my other job. I was a credit counselor, like over the phone, and I had left on my lunch break, bro, and I was going to see this property, and I was trying to get this deal done to purchase this rental property in Atlanta. And man, I came back to work like an hour and a half later, and my boss just tapped me on the shoulder. He was like, let me holler at you. You can go ahead and clock out, dog. So that's how I lost the first job I got fired from. The rest of them I quit, but that's what I got fired.
So are you saying that maybe our future entrepreneurs shouldn't be? Well, for me, I getting fired helped me understand. It's almost like Walt Disney says, everybody needs a big failure to kind of help them get over it quickly.
Yeah. I mean, for me, 2008, and that was 2007 and 8 when I was investing in real estate, right? So you know what happened after that.
Yeah.
And so that was my big failure. I was like, it don't get no worse than this. You know what I'm saying? I got repo, I got foreclosures, I'm broke, you know what I'm saying? And I had jumped out there and I didn't have a job, because I had gotten fired. And so it didn't work out like I thought it was, but it gave me a sense of peace knowing that, man, this ain't that bad, bro. I can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I know how to survive. And so it didn't deter me. It really kind of put that chip on my shoulder. Like, I realized I'd never be successful. I'd never be happy sitting in the cubicle, man. I'm not going to be happy. I do not want to be miserable for the rest of my life sitting in this cubicle. I'm not going to be here because on every job I had these older people that were there and had been there for 20 years. And I was like, I can't be like them. You know what I'm saying? And that was my motivation, man. So I knew I was going to keep trying stuff. And even when I met my wife, I was like, hey, look, I'm a little crazy. I'm going to be trying these businesses. So you make sure you can be with a guy like me. You know what I'm saying?
It's rough. Me too. What industry did you come from, Randy? Are you a computer guy or something?
Nah. Man, sales And then,
Okay.
the last job I got fired from, I was in the education industry, like career services,
Mhm.
helping students find jobs after they graduated. And so I got to see all the different sides of the system. You know what I'm saying? I went to college and I realized that the college dream wasn't what it was cracked up to be. You know what I'm saying? And that there was all these other factors that were tied into it. And then I seen people graduate with 2 master's degrees and they ain't even cracking 50,000. You know what I'm saying? They got all this debt. So I'm seeing people unhappy on their job. I'm seeing the college thing ain't working out, and that it made sense. It's just to me that entrepreneurship is the only way to achieve the true American dream. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, you're kind of at the mercy of somebody else.
Wow, man. You talking, dog. You talking. I love hearing this from you because I've been doing this since I've been self-employed since 1999. It's kind of, when I meet people, they're like, "You do what?" I'm like, "Man, I don't, I can't even." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what we do. Let's go. What's the next thing?" So, tell me about your work days, man. I know on my side, I'm like, wake up in the morning. All right, let's get to work. Boom, what's the next thing? Boom, next thing. Boom, boom, boom. Tell me how tell me about your work day, Randy. Are you always putting out fires?
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? When you the boss, when stuff gets to you, it's a fire, or at least it's smoldering. You got to kind of figure it out. So
Kindling is gone. It is kindled all that. It's a real full blown fire by that time.
yeah. And so typically that's what I do. Try to plan out for the week and the month what we're gonna be working on. And we got all these constant projects going on. And so just my goal is to come in and execute on that and look for opportunities for the business. But it's just, man, every day is different, man. Like, look, you text me today. It was like, hey, you want to go on at 3? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know I was going to be doing an interview today, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So I might be jumping in. If we have somebody out, I might jump in and help out with fulfillment last night. We were really backed up on orders. I had to jump in for a few days and help out with fulfillment. I got to go to the warehouse. I got to pick up stuff from the port, pick up stuff, our products from the port,
Mhm.
and then mostly I'm in meetings though, Zooms or calls, things of that nature. And most recently, we've been working on our holiday campaign. So I've been kind
Gotcha.
of close to that, the photography and the videography for that, just kind of overseeing it and guide that process. So,
Okay.
every day is different, man. And that's one of the things I like about it.
Something interesting. Yeah, me too. I don't want to. So I knew. Yeah, I remember you saying I'd like to maybe be a part of your holiday campaign. Roundup. There's a link in the video description. Use the code Roundup10 to get a discount. And you have any questions for Randy, please put them in the chat on the left there. We'll get to questions in a few minutes. When I was in music business, Randy, I would travel from coast to coast, different studios, right? Studios. I started to get the sense and the spirit. I don't know. I guess God put it on my spirit. Like everywhere you're going, Chris, these nice studios, every one of these fools paying rent somewhere. Every one. I was in Daddy's House, Hit Factory, just whoever, dog. And I heard you say the least. When did you? I had an epiphany. Like, you know what, dude? I don't care what business I'm in. It boils down to the daggone real estate. So it sounds like when you had that same epiphany. So as opposed to you're in a watch business, but you got your building. So when did you have that? I guess foresight to see that, Randy?
Man, I'm a numbers guy, man. The numbers got to make sense to me, and that coincidentally, when I was working from my home, because we started off from my house, and I knew I had to find a space because I got boxes everywhere. I got people coming to my house and working.
Can't do that.
So
Yeah.
luckily, they were people that my family knew, but still, you got people coming to the house at 7 p.m. making watches. So it was getting crazy. So I had been looking for a place for a while, but at the same time, I was learning about commercial real estate and the advantages of commercial real estate. Tax advantages, cash flow, all of that stuff. And I started doing the numbers, and I was like, I saw what people was charging for lease payments. You locking me in for 3 to 5 years. You're probably gonna raise the rent on me every year, and then I gotta pay for everything anyway. Like I'm paying for my own utilities. I'm paying like triple net. And
Taxes,
I'm like,
taxes,
I
insurance.
just couldn't see myself doing it. And also, I'm realizing at the end of this 5 years, I'm not gonna have anything to show for it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, we can at least own the building that we in. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So I've
Wow.
always thought that. But me and my wife, we never rented. Like when we got engaged, we started looking for a crib. So like we were ready, and I had enough knowledge to be able to help us find a good deal. You know what I'm saying? So I just like I hate to see people throwing money away. I don't want to call it throwing money away because I know some people are advocates for renting
Yeah.
versus buying, but not me, because I feel like I already missed too many opportunities to own. You know what I'm saying? I look at stuff, I drive by stuff in Georgia I had the opportunity to own
Cheaper,
10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
lower prices too, no doubt.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I got, property that was say 30, 40,000 is 200 now I could have had. So, that's my mindset.
Randy, how I hear you talk about your wife. How important is it for someone to have the right spouse? I know, just for you,
Man,
they've been an entrepreneur.
I mean, it means the world, man. Cause it's like, if your spouse is not believing what you're doing, they're going to be constantly working against you.
You
It's just
got
another battle that you would have to fight as an entrepreneur that you don't want to fight. There's no point in doing it. And that's why I told my wife, when we were dating that, this is the type of guy that you marry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a snake oil salesman. Like I'm really about it. I'm showing you, what I'm learning and what my plan is. I got a plan. I'm not just, selling something different every week like some people, but it's at the same time, it's really about ownership. This is how you build true wealth, through ownership. And you got to have a person that knows and understands that and wants to ride that wave with you, through the good and the bad, and can lift you up some of those times when you like, man, I made the wrong move. You know what I mean? That cost us some money. That cost us some time. You want to have somebody in your corner that understands the ups and downs, and they'll be able to share in the rewards too.
How important do you think is for my viewers, Randy? Master P says he'll take product over talent any day. How important do you think product is to the entrepreneur? I know for me, I learned late to have some product. Like, get your products up, dog. Get your products up. Man, have some products. So
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know how important it is for you, and what can you share with my viewers?
Man, I don't know, man. I talk. We got influencers that we work with, right? And so they'll wear the watch in exchange for some money or for some product or something like that, right? Some of these people, man, they got hundreds of thousands of followers. They don't have no product.
God.
And I'll be talking to them like, don't you want to sell something? Anything. Like, you got all these people following you and you're not capitalizing on it. You're realizing, and I was talking to my COO the other week about this too, like the real value is in the audience. In 2020, when you got the audience, now you can almost sell almost anything if you got the audience. That's why Shaq is the best pitch man in the game right now. I just opened an email. Shaq has a executive leather chairs through Office Max. He got his own line of signature chairs.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because he got the audience. You know what I'm saying? He got the brand where he can sell that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got pizzas, he got suits, he got, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the audience, bro. So if you got all these people that believe in you, that support you already, like, you 80% of the way there and you don't even know it. So to me, it's always about an exchange. Just provide something to people, something of value that people actually want. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot easier to do than people think, I think. But yeah, I agree with what you said, man.
I'm just saying, I think influencers by default, like I never even wanted to be an influencer, right? So now I go places and they're like, "You're an influencer." Okay, I was a product guy, I'm like, I'm
That's
trying to,
secondary to you, right? Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, I don't give a whatever,
Yeah.
I'm running a real estate business.
Right.
So, but I don't think everybody can be an influencer because I know how hard I work, to do that. And when people ask me how to do it, I'm like, okay, I can show you what we did. But being an influencer and having product, I think you could people can create products, but to be an influencer, it takes a lot of time and effort.
Most definitely. Most definitely. It definitely take a lot. And that's another thing that shocked me about dealing with a lot of these influencers. Like, I'm seeing how much time and effort they're putting into it.
Oh my
They
Lord.
really value the craft. Like, they're perfectionists. They're trying to put out a great product. And I'm like, man, you got to really get paid for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're among the best at what you do, right? So that's where my mind goes. But obviously, some people are just happy being popular, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's their end game. Like, and it shocks me, but some people are satisfied with it.
Well, the viewers here, they ain't worried about that. We talk about getting some paper. That's why I want to get your input on, my followers are the entrepreneurs, man. We're trying to get some money.
Good.
Well, I had you for 40 minutes, Randy, man. I know you're busy. I got a couple questions here. Just a little bit out of the box. I want to just stay as much on the entrepreneur side because real estate is one thing, but I finally came to the realization that real estate is nothing but another product too. It's just a product.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but a watch, car, house, shoe,
Yeah.
book. It's nothing but a product, Randy. So I'm like, if you could just make that system, like you've been able to scale. What do you think the biggest thing that helped you scale your business, Randy? Because a lot of
Having
guys,
the
for
right
me,
team.
it's where you lose.
Yeah, having the right team and then understanding who you are. Like, companies don't know who they are. They're chasing every trend. You don't understand how many times people try to get us to change things. They're like, oh, why don't you make a square watch? We don't make square watch. This is Italian twine watch. Rolex don't change their template every 5 years. Like, a Rolex because you know what it is. Like, it's been that way for 100 years. Like, it's an effective strategy. They're branded, right? You don't get your customer used to something and then switch it up and they go chase the trend. Why don't you make a smartwatch? We're not smartwatch people. You know what I'm saying? We make a classy dress watch that you're going to wear when you get dressed, right? That's our market. That's our niche. Why don't you market to this community over here? We don't market to that community. If they come, that's fine. But we know who our primary customer is. We're going to double down on this market that's not being spoken to right now. That's our strategy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we can do better than anybody in the industry. Why would I go chasing something else and be number 100 over here chasing this guy? And I can be number one in the industry that I'm in. Just like in real estate, guys don't know what they want to do sometimes. Like, you're a wholesaler for 5 weeks, then you want to flip. You know what I'm saying? Then you try to do JV. Then the more you can do multiple things, but the more you narrow in on it. So you got to have mastery of something first before you start branching out. Like, for example, I figured out a system on how to sell products, how to market products, how to build an audience, right? So we launched a new company, Prepmore.
Okay.
This is another company launching in January. Pima cotton, 100% Pima cotton polo shirts. Manufactured in Peru, comparable in quality to anything that's on the market, but targeting a consumer who has been largely overlooked by the big guys. And it's the same template as Talley and Twine. So I would say to people that thinking about that as far as scaling, dial in, master it, figure out what works, then duplicate it.
Wow, I like that, man. You dropping nuggets. And I got to tell you, I'm sick of giving Ralph Lauren my money. Matter of fact, I will never give Ralph Lauren another penny. I'm done. I feel like you're like reading my brain. You're like, dude, I'm done.
And you know what? I was looking at his story, right? There's a documentary called Just Ralph or something like that. It's on HBO. And I was like, man, I'm going to be inspired by this. I looked at that movie, man, Chris, and I was like, I can't relate to this. I can't relate to a upper middle class Jewish family kid who borrowed $100,000 from his daddy to start the company. I can't relate to it. Him and his wife got married in their 20s and they moved to Manhattan. They was like in down, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't relate to that. You feel what I'm saying? And in my mind, there are people who can relate to my story, to your story, more so. And then also, number two, we support companies, man, that don't really care about our communities.
Culture. The
Like
culture.
we're pushing it forward, and I don't think they realize our value in like terms of influence, how we push culture forward. And so they haven't even given us anything. I'm
They don't even
talking
say
about as a
thank you.
community
They don't even say thanks.
for
They don't
those
even.
boots.
They
You
don't
know,
even have
you're a
a
low head, you about the low life, you polo to the floor, you're in all these songs, and but they not even acknowledging you. You know,
I'm like, at
they
least
got a
say
couple of
thank
black people in the ass, and that's it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But you know what? I think you come to a level in life where you didn't. Well, I didn't recognize it before. I'm like, man, I just want to wear polo. I like thought it
Yeah,
was quality stuff. But now I'm
yeah.
looking back like, the hell they doing for me or my culture and my community?
Hmm.
Nothing. Zero. You know, I'm like, so we don't live. That's sad to say that, dude. Zero. So I'm like, we don't. I guess for you, it's like you recognize that you got. I guess Hampton University says as you matriculate, you
Yeah.
recognize that.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with having nice things, right? You know, but I see right now like a conversation going on online, like people are arguing about Birkin bags.
About what?
It's a bag called Birkin,
You got
Birkin, right?
tell my rounduppers that don't. What is that? Because I
You
don't.
can buy real estate with it. You know, upwards of some $100,000 purses,
Oh,
right?
purse.
Yeah, they're going back and forth about who can afford this and who can afford that. And I'm like, we don't own any of that.
None of it.
Drug dealer buy joint, crackhead buy crack, and the white man get paid off for all of that. That's
Oh
old
wow, wow.
content. You know, so we got to have ownership, man. We got a larger discussion, especially what's going on socially. We just got to have a larger discussion about ownership and about circulating our own dollar, you know, and we got to take some pride, or should I say, we should be embarrassed by the fact that 96 cents out of every dollar leaves our community immediately.
Wow.
96 cents out of every dollar that we make leaves our community immediately.
Claude Anderson says the white community has two incomes, theirs and ours.
Wow.
What would you say about that, Randy?
Man, it's true, man. It's true. You know, they say a lot of times great truths often appear to be heresy. And Claude Anderson has been saying that for upwards of 20, 30, 40 years, trying to convince people that, you know, it's hard to hear, but we can't build our community off of 9 to 5s. We can't build our community working for somebody else. And Malcolm X said the same thing, the Ballad of the Bullet, talking about how crazy we look begging outside, petitioning outside of somebody else's job, somebody else's business for a job. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going on and trying to create our own, you know. And the challenge for us, Chris, though, is we can't say things about 9 to 5, having a job, without making it seem like we're being condescending, without making it seem like we're coming down on people or that we're being negative. The truth is we're being positive. We're trying to figure out a way out of this. You know what I'm saying? But often when you talk like that amongst a group of people who are not entrepreneurs or don't consider themselves to be entrepreneurs or owners, it can appear negative. And so that's why a lot of times we're not having that conversation.
Yeah. I'm glad we're having this today. The purpose of my mission, my friend, to bring this message out. I just think, man, I'm so passionate about just entrepreneur. I don't want, first of all, I'm sick of meeting broke people. I don't want to meet nobody broke people. Second, I'm like, people are doing it, and no doubt it wasn't easy. Are you going to give us a biography on how this journey was, a book or something, Randy?
Man, it's possible, man. It's still being written, man. It's still being written. And you know, stuff happens every week. I'm like, wow, you know, like we got a call. We got a call tomorrow with Viacom, CBS. They want to speak with me. I'm like, crazy, right? I don't even have time to think about it. You know what I'm saying? But often reflect, and I think, man, like I'm from a really small town, Chris, man, like 5,000 people.
Wow. What town is that?
Camilla, Georgia.
Okay.
Southwest Georgia, man. And I'm like, man, I've already done more than I expected or ever seen growing up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just getting started. And so, you know, I'm just grateful every day, man, for that opportunity. You know, that's what motivates me, is just knowing that, man, out of all people in the world, you know, I've been given this opportunity to do this. And I'm like you, I want to inspire as many other people to do it as possible. because the truth is we just don't believe that it's possible. We don't see it
Doubt.
enough to know that it's one of the options for us as well.
Doubt.
If we can make more people believe that this is actually an option, this is not rocket science, and that you're going to be working hard anyway.
Either way.
You're going to be working anyway for the rest of your life. You might well do something that you enjoy where you can actually build wealth. That's really the conversation I'm trying to have.
I love it. And maybe pass something on. Claude Anderson, I'm thinking about, I'm recoining the cash flow quadrant, Randy,
Okay.
to the class flow quadrant, the class flow. Because if you're on the left side, by default, you're leaving your family to a permanent under. It's just by
Never
default.
thought about that, man. I never thought about that. You're right.
You're permanently saying when you finish working, you can't pass nothing down to your kids, so you are by default putting them in an underclass, the class flow quadrant. So now I'm like, look, you better get your butt on the right side. Go ahead.
And you see what's happening is it's just like the e-commerce, the transition to e-commerce, right, from brick and mortar. What has happened is that the pathway that we had to retirement has been gone for a number of years. Is like, your company got this pension plan for you, and when you retire, it's going to be there. But we still acting like it's there. We're still going to school, getting all these loans, and then getting a low-paying job, and thinking we're going to climb out and have some pot of money when we turn 70 years old. It's no pot of money for us there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really a warning that you better be an entrepreneur. You better own something. You better be entrepreneurial if you want to have something for yourself and your family, something to show for all the work that you're going to be putting in every day. You know what I'm saying? That the paradigm has shifted, but we didn't shift with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep. Roundup, get your questions in. I'm gonna let you go. We got a few questions here. Roundup, use the link in the video description to go ahead and take a look at Randy's watches, and let's get some Q&A. Before I gotta pay the bills here. Roundup, this weekend, I've got my, we're gonna bring back out the discount for my Section 8 Landlord's Guide to Section 8 housing. So this Friday, starting at noon, what am I doing here? That you'll be able to go ahead and order that if you'd like to support and get your Roundup. Stop worrying about your rents. I get calls every day. People want to worry about why I can't evict my tenant. Tenant ain't paying rent. What do you want me to do, Chris? I don't live in that world, Roundup. We have Section 8 government subsidized rents. The rents are paid every month on the 3rd. I want you to live in that world too, y'all. So come on over if you're on the fence for investing in the course. We are gonna do a special for the holiday starting this Friday. Anybody that wants to get the course. Oops, I take that off. Sorry, Randy.
Thank you, Real.
Somebody wants to know he came in late. Why did you get into the watch business, Randy?
Opportunity, man. I saw
Realpreneur.
Yeah, I saw that I was buying these watches, just like you were saying. I was buying all these watches, supporting these other people. And I realized that I wanted something that was designed differently. Everybody in the watch industry was making the same kind of watches. They were just making their own version of a Rolex, their own version of a Patek, their own version of a you name it, right? So I saw opportunity to create a unique design, something that had its own silhouette that it could be known for. But also I saw that the consumer, like me, professional Black men, millennials were being ignored. They weren't addressing us at all. It was just old white guys who looked like they got money, and that's all they had to do, and we were still buying their watches. So I thought that represented an opportunity to step in and say, hey, look, here's another group of the market that also buys watches. Even though y'all might not know about them or care about them, I think they are valuable.
Nice. I'm so glad you did that, brother. Let's see. Self-accountability. Dealing with the promotions. Yes, real reviews. You have someone else needs to be your trustee. Yes, absolutely. For your land trust. Somebody else needs to be your trustee for that. Get your story out there. Oh, Pharrell. Website. Oh, yeah, you can go. Randy gave us a link. It's in the video description. If you want to go, it's Tally and Twine, or you could just go right to the to the link in the video description and use that coupon code to get $10 off there. Trevor wishes you all the best of luck. Final thoughts for any entrepreneurs that are thinking about getting into business for themselves, Randy.
This is the best time in history to be an entrepreneur. We got resources that we never had available to us. You can learn anything on YouTube and Google.
Frame that up for them, Roundy, because people don't quite understand. Like, what do you mean this best time? It's that's a big one.
Tens of thousands of dollars. And we can learn anything. And if you can learn anything, you can figure anything out. So if there's any industry you want to get into, you can do it now. There's never been a time like this in history. You know what I'm saying? The internet is the gold rush. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not going away anytime soon. So we got to use that to our advantage, because the traditional barriers that would have stopped us as Black entrepreneurs from starting, like going to a bank, which is still extremely difficult. Mm-hmm. Now you can get around that, you know, through the power of the internet. So this is the best time in history to start a business, man. You just got to try it.
It can be scary. Let me ask you, was it easy? I want to know for you, Randy, was it easy getting here?
Nah, it wasn't easy, man. I tell people this, like before you start, you got to understand what your why is, and you got to know why you're doing it. If you know why you're doing it, once you face opposition, it's just another hurdle for you to get over. You know, the ultimate goal is to build wealth, to create generational wealth for myself. I don't know what other people's why is. Create generational wealth and put my grandkids in a better position than I was in. And that is the goal. You know, that's how I'm able to help my community. And along that way, impart some jewels onto other people in the community who want to do the same. And once you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, you know, you're going to overcome obstacles, because life is going to be hard either way. You know, you're going to run into hardships, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a 9-to-5er. And so you might as well have something to show for it at the end. But no, it's not. It wasn't hard, and it's not hard. I'm still in the trenches, man. You know.
Right. People think when you get a certain level, you just, man, I go to the beach.
Yeah, I'm not Mark Cuban or anything like that. So, you know, I'm still in it.
Oh, somebody wants to know, when are you going to bring a watch back, Randy?
Which one?
Juneteenth. Appliance Boot Camp wants to know, when will you bring the Black Juneteenth watch back?
That's an interesting name, Appliance Boot Camp. We got it for ladies, but the men's is sold out, and I think we're restocking the men's in December.
Okay.
Very popular watch, man. It's just hard to keep it in stock, bro.
That's a good problem.
Thanks for
Tall guy wants to know.
Thomasville, what's up? That's near my hometown, man.
Okay, all right. Kenneth wants to know, what is the best way you recommend to build your team, Randy?
Start slow, man. Start slow. So take a look at what I did. Was I wrote down all of the tasks that I did on a daily basis, right? And I started, after I wrote down all of those tasks that I do, like I was just, okay, I did this, write it down. I did this, write it down. I got a list, let's say I got a list of 30 things. Then I started to look at who can help me with this stuff. And so I grouped together. I realized for most people, the first thing you can outsource is admin, administrative tasks. I shouldn't have been answering no customer service emails, shouldn't have been answering the phone, responding to questions, all of that stuff, right? So I outsourced that. The second thing I outsourced was fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be I shouldn't be assembling watches. I shouldn't be putting them in the boxes. You know, so start with those administrative and repetitive tasks, and that'll get your head out of the weeds enough to be like, oh, okay, the next person we should probably hire should be marketing strategy, or the next person should be a banker or a lawyer that can help me with this and this. You know, so the first step though is just outlining what those tasks are. Then you'll have a better picture of who can help you with it. And again, the power of the internet, we have some really affordable solutions. Like you got virtual assistant, for a flat fee per month. They got all of these services that you can purchase that can help you, that don't involve you actually going out and try to hire somebody, one-on-one.
I love it. I love it. Good points there. Hebrew wants to know, he's in the t-shirt business. What is the best way to market his shirts?
Do something different, man. So here's a unfortunate truth about business. The more people who do what you do, the harder it's going to be for you to stand out in terms of marketing. Because we got 1,000 t-shirt ads every day that we going to see. You know what I'm saying? And in addition to that, it's easy for people to steal it. So if you got a popping t-shirt, if it gets popular, somebody's going to copy it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep all of this in mind. So be hard to copy, be unique, and be, what's the word I can use for this? Be shareable. All right. There's a book called, it's got an orange cover. I can't think of it. Berger. His name is Berger. He's a professor. Yonah Berger. But it talks about how ideas spread. And one of those key concepts is be shareable. That's the cheat code, to create things that are shareable. Like the Juneteenth watch. It's our best-selling watch because nobody else was making one. I don't know if they are now, but nobody else was making one. Nobody was even acknowledging Juneteenth on a whole scale when we started in like 2017, and I had recently found out about it, so I recognized that was an opportunity. There was a group of people that was going to be really hyped about it, and they were going to tell other people about it, So I would say use that technique, in marketing. Try to be unique, man.
Shareable, yep. How about being yourself, Randy? Do you, I know my mentor says, Kris, no one can beat you at being you.
Yeah. Part of that is realizing like, what are your strengths and what are you good at? And even if you're not good at it, what do you enjoy doing? So you might not be good at marketing yet, but you really like it and enjoy it. You can get proficient in it. You just got to do a deep dive into learning about that particular industry. And I think that's what makes it most sustainable, and unfortunately in 2020, a lot of people try to do things that are out of character for them, or try to become a person that they think they should become.
Influencer.
But, you're never going to be able to sustain that, so it's better to be yourself.
Last question.
And have that self-awareness that Gary Vee talks about, so you really just got to know who you are.
I think, we took the DISC analysis. Are you big on that thing, Randy? Do you deal with that at all?
I heard of it, but no, I've never taken it.
Just kind of tells you who you are, what personality type you got. We got an expert coming on next week. Actually, he's going to administer it for my viewers.
I'm interested.
Last question. When would you be getting the all black watches back, Randy?
Also in December. Sometime in December we'll restock it. Hard to keep that one in stock too, man. Sorry.
That's so good, man. I'm excited for you. All right, Roundup. That was it. Make sure you subscribe, like the content, and share with any other investors or entrepreneurs that are thinking about getting in the business or starting a business, growing their business. Randy, it's been real, my friend. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. So don't forget, subscribe to the channel, and if you go to the link below, you can get your $10 off for Randy's watches. Use Roundup 10 for the code. And this weekend, make sure you are already on the mailing list to get your rents in. Stop letting the tenants suck it dry, y'all. Tenants not paying the rent. How many people are calling me, Kris, I can't get my rent? So there's a link in the video description that you can get more information about how to get the notifications for the Landlord's Guide to Section 8 Housing Halloween Weekend Special. Roundup, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.